we now have Mr. Bingling Li, former president of the Chinese Community Center. Mr. Li.
It's my great pleasure to introduce Congressman Paul Tonko. Congressman Paul Tonko is a fourth-term member of the United States House of Representatives. He currently represents New York's 20th Congressional District in the Capital Region, including Albany, Schenectady, Troy, Saratoga Springs, and his hometown of Amsterdam. Throughout his career, Paul has been a champion for the working class, advancing policies that create jobs, provide economic opportunity, and ensure senior citizens can receive dignity after retirement. He believes in the power of America's middle class and fights to ensure the American dream stays within reach for all, who work hard and play by the rules. Paul is a member of the Committee on Energy and Commerce. He also served on the Subcommittee on Energy and Power and the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. Additionally, as a member of the Science, Space, and Technology Committee, Paul serves on the Subcommittee on Research and Technology, which has jurisdiction over non-defense federal scientific research and development. Paul continues to fight to bring clean energy jobs to the Capital Region to ensure it remains its status as one of the fastest growing clean technology hubs in the country. Prior to serving in Congress, Paul was the president and CEO of the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. Before that, he served in the New York State Assembly for 25 years, 15 of which he was the chairman of the Committee on Energy. At the age of 26, Paul was the youngest person in the history of Montgomery County to be elected to the county's Board of Supervisors, which he chaired until 1981. Paul graduated from Clarkson University with a degree in mechanical and industrial engineering and is a former engineer for the New York State Public Service Commission. And he's a lifelong resident of the city of Amsterdam, New York. Moreover, Paul has always been a good friend of our Asian community. Please join me to welcome Congressman Paul Tonko.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And as one who's worked with you from the community, the Asian community via the Chinese Cultural Center, it's been an honor to be there in your startup years and to be able to secure funding when I was still in the State Assembly. It's a partnership that is very nurturing to me and one of which I'm very much proud. So thank you so much. Hello everybody. What a wonderful community crowd gathering here for a very historic moment. And it's kind of neat that the Capital Region is in that first 20 or so of chapters that are designated as a Papa turf, where you enable people to be empowered, energized, and certainly assisted in their assimilation process, not only into the quilt work of America, but to do it via the political scene, government scene, which I think is so very powerful. Let me, before I offer my comments, introduce Ryan Horsmeyer in the back of the room, who is our district director. Many of you have talked to Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us today. And when I'm not in the Capital Region and I'm down in Washington, Ryan will field all your calls. So do it when I'm in Washington and he gets all that work, okay? To you, HB Wang, thank you as chair for having that foresight and being part of the team that's planted the seed for this local chapter. And to President Wang, thank you for your leadership and the entire board. And to CC Yin, thank you, Founder Yin, for having created this very nurturing opportunity for those of Asian and Pacific Islander background as they enter into America. And before I make my comments, and I'll talk a bit about Grace Meng a little more later, but let me welcome you, Grace, to the 20th Congressional District. I really don't have to do that because, see, this was her second home for several years when she served in the State Assembly. So it's great to have you back here, and it's an honor to serve with you, as it was to serve with David Wu, Congressman Wu. So to Congress members Meng, and to Congressmember Wu, thank you for having the opportunity to work together to make America stronger and to continue to work on that progressive agenda. So today we celebrate a growing bit of ethnic diversity. And as a grandson of immigrants from Eastern Europe, from Poland and Russia and Ukraine, I cherish the opportunity to be a hyphenated American and being able to work through that system that responds and respects the journey of my ancestors. Other than our Native American community, we are all hyphenated Americans who landed here because of journeys. Your personal journey or someone in your ancestral chain that enabled us to call America home. And so today I say, this is great to be what is a growing bit of cultural diversity in the American quilt work that is represented by Asian and Pacific Islanders. So to all the work done by those in the Asian Pacific Islander American Public Affairs Association, thank you, thank you, thank you for making it even more possible and more advantageous for any of us, any of you, entering into the exploration of our halls of government and into the advancement of perhaps public sector careers for Asian and Pacific Islander Americans. This is what it's all about. And to have it expressed here today, not only by those of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage, but to be joined by the Indian community, the Lebanese community, the Korean community, and those of us of other persuasion, shows us that we're at our best when we celebrate diversity. I hear that expression at times, tolerate our diversity, which to me is such an offensive term. It's about celebrating the culture, the values, the tradition, the dance, the music, the language of various cultures that are born together in the stars and stripes of the American flag. And so here we celebrate what is, in the last 40 years, a growing demographic in the capital region of New York. Great people who bring great talent and wisdom, innovation to the equation, people who are contributing valiantly, boldly to the regional economy and to the state economy. 1.8 million, was that the number I heard, Chairman Wang? That's a powerful, powerful number. And so it is important for us to make certain that we enable people to have these opportunities. I see our heritage as a gift. It defines us, it nurtures us, and it sustains us. And we should never lose that sense of homeland. We share it. And like any gift, it has its greatest value when it is exchanged. And so thank you for being such advocates for exchanging your culture in our local regional community and across the map of New York and this country. To be able to share in the many arts and cultural activities, the traditional fairs and stuff that you have, to try and learn the language. Sometimes I've goofed, but it is a joy to be able to extend oneself outside of their own given turf and learn about other people and their steps, their journeys to America. This is a land of opportunity. I'm convinced that the greatest expression, the most measured expression, the most passionate expression of America is offered to the eyes and the voices of immigrants. There's no more passion than from hearing from the immigrants. People who cherish the opportunity to call America their new home. I know that my relatives came with precious little, and a century later, for their grandson to run for the United States House of Representatives seat, to me was a cherished respect, an awesome thank you from their grandson for giving me this opportunity. Never in their wildest dreams, as they entered through Ellis Island, would they have imagined that their grandson would have an opportunity to run. So let's all continue to build beyond our ethnic patterns, our quilt, that is totally American. Let us add to that, let us celebrate, let us truly offer that sense of diversity. Now, to some of the empowerment that you're bringing, and some of that opportunity and assistance that is part of APAPA. You know, I didn't know if APAPA would be the correct reference to the association. But when I got here, a number of leaders kept calling it APAPA. I said, I don't know if the matriarchal side would like that, but it does sound nurturing. So, to a papa and a mama, we thank you for all that you're doing. What I want to offer, as your local representative, is a chance to intern. Go to taco.house.gov. If you have high schoolers or college students that are interested in the internship experience, that will give them a better taste of what the public sector is about. It will give them an opportunity perhaps to have that fire lit within them to run for public office. And like any center, any institution, any government body, like that of the House of Representatives, it is strongest when it accurately reflects the population of this great land. And so, as we foster that climate that grows more and more Asian and Pacific Islander American participation in the process, we will be strengthened by it and made all the more bold in our expression. So to that end, I wish you well as an Albany chapter. I wish you growth. I wish you continued strength. And thank you for the contribution that you make to our regional economy, but more importantly, to our quality of life. That expression of diversity is one that's growing more and more celebratory with each and every passing month.